Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something that's, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. We're talking about AI that can actually analyze language using language, like it's studying how we communicate.
It's called meta-linguistic AI, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about AI understanding what we say, but like the whole how we say it.
Yep.
Emotions, intentions, all those subtle things.
It's like imagine AI becoming like a student of communication instead of just a translator.
And get this, our source material today. It's an exclusive sneak peek into an experimental AI model called QwQ-32B-Preview. We're zeroing in on its inner self-talk component. They even gave it a nickname, Fozz.
Yeah, I saw that. So Fozz is basically running in the background, analyzing every exchange between, say, a user and an AI assistant, making sure the communication is, smooth, efficient, appropriate.
And not just on the human side, right? It's like Fozz is helping the AI understand itself, how it comes across. And one of the things that really jumped out at me reading this excerpt was Fozz's focus on empathy.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like, can AI truly feel empathy? Probably not the way we do, but Foz seems really preoccupied with how the AI can at least recognize and respond to human emotion.
So how does it even begin to do that? Is it like just scanning for keywords, or is there something more going on?
Oh, it's definitely more nuanced than that. I mean, think about it. You're talking to an AI assistant and I don't know, you're frustrated. Foz is analyzing how the AI should react. Should its tone be more soothing? Should it offer extra help? Or what if the user is getting, aggressive?
Oh, wow.
Foz notes that the AI needs to stay calm, professional, maybe even gently remind the user about, keeping things respectful.
So it's not just reacting to the words, but to the emotional subtext. It's almost like the AI is learning to read between the lines, that's incredible.
And the implications are huge. I mean, think about AI tutors that can sense when a student is struggling, or customer service bots that can like de-escalate a tense situation by mirroring the customer's tone.
That's wild. But how do you even teach AI to pick up on those subtle emotional cues? Like, is it analyzing tone of voice, specific words? What do you think?
Well, the excerpt doesn't lay it all out, but it hints at a combination of things. Definitely some level of sentiment analysis, like looking for positive or negative words, maybe even analyzing sentence structure.
Okay.
But it also seems like they're trying to teach the AI about social context. Like if someone says, that's great, but their tone is sarcastic, the AI needs to be able to pick up on that mismatch. You know what I mean?
So it's like the AI is learning to be a mini psychologist,
Right.
but it's not all touchy-feely stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Foz also seems pretty concerned with keeping things efficient.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody wants an AI that rambles on and on, right?
Yeah.
Just like we value clear, concise communication from each other, Foz seems to be pushing the AI to be direct and to the point. I mean, imagine waiting for your AI assistant to finish a long explanation when you just need a quick answer.
Yeah, no, I've been there, definitely. It's like that friend who just can never get to the point of a story.
Exactly.
But Foz takes it even further. It's not just about being concise. It's about being relevant to the user's needs.
Yeah. The excerpt mentions this idea of the AI adapting its communication style based on the user's level of expertise. Imagine an AI that can seamlessly go from technical jargon with an engineer to simpler language with someone who's, not so tech savvy. That's the kind of personalization that could totally change how we interact with technology.
It'd be like having an AI that speaks your language, literally.
Yeah.
At that level of adaptation, that must be incredibly complex to program. It's not just about swapping out vocab words, right?
No, it's way more than that. The AI would have to assess the user's knowledge in real time, maybe even anticipate their needs based on, past conversations.
Wow.
It's a constant back and forth of analyzing and adapting.
Yeah.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is mind-blowing. But it also makes you wonder about the potential downsides. Could this kind of personalization lead to AI systems that just reinforce our biases or create these echo chambers of information?
Yeah, you're absolutely right to bring that up. That's something that developers of these systems really have to consider. We want AI that expands our understanding, not limits it.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about empathy, efficiency. What else is on Foz's mind as it analyzes these conversations? What really struck me was its concern for politeness and respect.
Oh yeah, the etiquette of AI. It's fascinating to see Foz analyzing language for anything that could be, offensive or inappropriate. It's like they're trying to instill good manners in the AI, which is it's amusing but also a bit,
A little unsettling.
yeah, because how do you teach AI the nuances of human etiquette?
Right.
What's polite in one culture might be rude in another. What's okay in a casual chat might be totally off limits professionally.
Right.
So how do you even...
So is Fozz trying to come up with some universal AI etiquette guide, or is it something more, I don't know, dynamic, where the AI is constantly learning and adapting its sense of what's appropriate?
It seems like it's more the latter. I mean, it's not trying to hard code a bunch of rules. Instead, it's encouraging the AI to be aware of the context,
Yeah.
to learn from its interactions, to err on the side of caution when it's not sure.
Okay, so it's like teaching the AI to be culturally sensitive, which is something we could all probably use a little more of. Yeah. But there's another thing that Fozz keeps coming back to, and that's consistency.
Right, that's a big one. I mean, imagine if your AI assistant was super enthusiastic 1 minute and then totally cold and factual the next.
Right.
It'd be so jarring. You'd be like, wait, who am I talking to here?
Yeah, like it had multiple personalities or something.
Exactly. So Fozz seems to be emphasizing that, if we want to trust AI, it needs to have a predictable communication style. Think about the brands you trust.
Yeah.
They usually have a consistent voice and tone, one that you recognize, that you feel comfortable with.
It's true. It's like having a brand personality, but for AI.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen how Fozz prioritizes empathy, efficiency, politeness, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the more creative side of language? Like metaphors, analogies. Can AI ever really grasp those?
That's where things get really interesting, and that's exactly where we're headed next. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive deep into the world of AI and the art of figurative language.
Welcome back. So last time we were kind of geeking out over this AI system that's basically learning to analyze language like we do, right? Understanding not just the words, but the emotions, the social cues, the whole enchilada.
So Fozz, right.
Yeah, Fozz.
Yeah.
And it's part of this experimental model we're getting a sneak peek into.
And it was pretty wild, some of the stuff we were talking about. Fozz is really concerned with making sure AI communication is consistent, trustworthy.
Right. But here's where it gets even more interesting, I think. What happens when there's a disagreement? Even we humans, we struggle to have, respectful debates sometimes.
Yeah.
So how does Fozz envision AI handling those really tricky conversations?
Well, from what I can tell from the excerpt, Fozz is pushing for a pretty balanced approach. It suggests that the AI should be able to present different perspectives, politely, objectively.
Okay.
Let the user draw their own conclusions.
So no AI dictators forcing your opinions on us.
No, not from what I'm seeing.
That's a relief. But what if the AI encounters something that's just plain wrong, factually incorrect? Does it just stay silent?
That's where Fozz seems to draw a line. It seems to believe that AI should step in, correct misinformation, especially if it could be harmful.
Okay.
But even then, it emphasizes doing so respectfully and backing up its claims with evidence.
So it's like the AI is learning to be a fact checker, but without being a know-it-all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a tough balance to strike, even for us humans.
For sure. And it makes sense. I mean, we want AI to be helpful, but not overbearing. And speaking of being helpful, this ties into another thing that Fozz keeps coming back to, the use of questions.
Okay.
It's analyzing how AI can use questions effectively, to make sure the user is engaged and actually understanding the information.
That reminds me of, when you're explaining something complicated and you stop and you're like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or do you have any questions? It's like you're checking in to make sure everybody's following along.
Exactly. And Fozz seems to want AI to, incorporate those kinds of questions naturally into the conversation.
Okay.
Even suggest prompts like, is there anything else you'd like to know? To encourage users to actively participate, seek clarification.
It's like having an AI study buddy. That would have been amazing, back in school.
Oh, for sure. And it really highlights the potential for AI to, personalize learning, make it way more interactive. But Fozz analysis, it goes even deeper than that. It also explores the AI's ability to summarize information effectively.
So if you've just read a, super long article or a report and you need the key takeaways, the AI could just do that for you.
Exactly. That's what it's suggesting. Wants an AI that can condense huge amounts of information into, concise summaries, but without losing those important points.
Got it.
Like, think about how helpful that would be for researchers, students,
Oh, yeah.
really anyone who needs to, process a lot of information quickly.
Like AI Cliff Notes.
Pretty much.
I mean, sign me up. But we all know communication it's about more than just, conveying facts and figures and stuff. It's about style, tone. And that brings us to another aspect of Fozz's analysis, which is adapting to different communication styles.
Yeah, because we all have our own little quirks in how we communicate, right?
Yeah.
Some of us are more formal, some are more casual, and Fozz seems to want AI that can pick up on these nuances and then adjust its own style accordingly.
So if somebody is using like a lot of slang, being really informal, the AI wouldn't respond like a stuffy professor.
Right. It would try to mirror the user's style, to build that rapport, make the interaction feel more natural.
Okay.
And then, on the flip side, if someone's super formal, the AI would, adapt to match that professionalism.
It's like having like an AI chameleon.
Yeah.
It just blends in with any communication environment.
Yeah, pretty much. But the excerpt does, it stresses that even when the AI is being more casual, it still needs to, maintain that accuracy,
Right.
that appropriateness.
Yeah.
So it's a delicate balance,
Uh-huh.
but it shows that Fozz is thinking about, the ethical implications too.
That's good to hear. It's not just about creating AI that can, mimic human communication. It's about doing it responsibly.
Absolutely. And there's another layer to this adaptation thing that I find fascinating. Fozz also considers the power dynamics,
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Like, is the AI being perceived as an authority figure,
Uh-huh.
or more like an equal partner in the conversation? This is especially important, I think, when the AI is, giving guidance or instructions.
So like if you're getting directions from your AI navigation app, you probably want it to be pretty clear,
Right.
authoritative.
Right. But if you're brainstorming ideas with an AI creative assistant, you might want it to be more, collaborative,
Yeah.
less directive.
So Fozz thinks that AI should like be able to adjust its language to reflect those different dynamics.
It seems that way, yeah. For example, using, more deferential language when it doesn't want to sound bossy,
Right.
or more assertive language when the situation calls for it.
It's like Fozz is trying to teach the AI
Yeah.
like social intelligence,
Mm.
which I mean, honestly, a lot of humans could use a refresher on that too.
Exactly. But there's one final area of Fozz's analysis that we need to talk about, and it's a big one.
Okay.
How does AI handle those situations where there's like a genuine conflict of opinion?
Ooh, okay.
We'll tackle that head on in the final part of our deep dive.
All right, so we're back, and we've been exploring this incredible AI system that's basically learning to think about language like we do, right? And I gotta say, I'm pretty amazed by all this.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It really is.
We've covered how this system, nicknamed Fozz, is analyzing everything from empathy and efficiency to, politeness, consistency. But we kind of left off on a cliffhanger.
We did, yeah.
How does Fozz think AI should handle situations where there's, a real difference of opinion?
Right, because let's face it, disagreements happen. Even the best communicators, we clash sometimes.
Yeah.
So how do you teach AI to navigate those waters without, becoming like a robot dictator or on the flip side, just shutting down completely?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And the answer seems to be, nuance. From what I'm gathering in this excerpt, Fozz isn't saying that AI should avoid conflict altogether. Instead, it's pushing for AI that can engage in those disagreements, but constructively, respectfully.
Yes. So like if I'm debating the best pizza toppings with my AI assistant, it's not going to just declare pineapple the winner and shut down the conversation.
Hopefully not. I mean, Fozz seems to want AI that can acknowledge different perspectives, even present evidence to support its own view, but ultimately leave the final decision up to the user.
Okay, so it's like the AI is learning to be a good debater, not a dictator.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what about those situations where the AI encounters something that's just like blatantly wrong. Like
Yeah.
imagine someone telling their AI assistant that the Earth is flat. Does it just let that slide?
That's a really interesting question, and it seems like Foz has thought about that too.
Okay.
In those cases, where it encounters misinformation, especially if it could be harmful, Foz seems to advocate for a more assertive approach.
So the AI would actually like push back, even
Yeah.
if it risks like disagreeing with the user.
Exactly, yeah. But even then, Foz stresses that it's important to do so respectfully
Right.
and to explain the reasoning,
Okay, yeah.
behind the AI's stance. It's not about being right. It's about promoting accurate information and having a constructive dialogue even when there are, differences of opinion.
Oh, that's a pretty sophisticated approach for a system that's basically learning how to think. But when we talk about human communication, it's not always just about logic and facts. There's a whole other layer of figurative language,
Mhm.
things like metaphors, examples. Can AI ever grasp those?
That's where we get into like the really mind-blowing stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And you're right, metaphors, they're everywhere in human language.
Yeah.
I mean, we use them to explain complex ideas, to add color and emotion to our words, even to, make each other laugh.
Like when we say time flies, right? We don't actually mean there are insects with clocks strapped to their backs like zipping through the air.
Exactly. But it's this shared understanding that adds, depth and meaning to our communication. And amazingly, Foz seems to be pushing for AI that can grasp those figurative elements too.
So you're saying AI could one day understand that raining cats and dogs doesn't literally involve, animals falling from the sky.
That's the goal. And it seems like Foz believes that if AI can understand the underlying meaning of those metaphors, it could explain like complex topics in a way that's more engaging, more relatable.
Yeah.
Imagine like an AI tutor that uses metaphors to teach scientific concepts.
Oh, wow.
Or a chatbot that uses analogies to, clarify technical issues. It could really revolutionize how we learn and interact with technology.
That would be incredible, but I have to imagine it's incredibly challenging to teach AI these more creative aspects of language. I mean, metaphors, they rely on this shared cultural understanding.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
But Foz seems, optimistic about the possibilities, and it goes beyond just metaphors, too. It also analyzes how AI could use, like, real-world examples,
Okay.
to illustrate abstract concepts.
So it's one thing to hear a definition of gravity, but it's another thing to see an apple falling from a tree and understand the concepts, like firsthand, right?
You got it. Examples can make learning so much more intuitive.
Yeah.
And Foz is pushing for AI systems that incorporate those examples strategically, to really make the information stick.
So we've gone from AI understanding basic emotions to AI potentially grasping metaphors, using examples. This whole meta-linguistic thing is really, it's next level.
It is. It really is. And we've only just scratched the surface of what Foz is analyzing in this excerpt. But it's clear that AI developers, they're really pushing the boundaries
Yeah.
of what's possible when it comes to human AI communication.
It's like having a conversation with a machine that truly gets you, which is both exciting and also a little bit daunting, I think.
It is both, isn't it? As with any, powerful technology, there are potential risks, potential benefits.
Oh, yeah.
We have to weigh those carefully. But this glimpse into Foz's analysis has given us a lot to think about.
It has, yeah. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with this feeling of wonder and possibility.
Yeah.
If we can create AI that understands language as
Yeah.
deeply as we do, the potential for collaboration, for learning, for creativity, it's truly limitless.
It is, and it underscores the importance of, having these open and honest conversations
Yeah.
about the future of AI. We need to talk about the ethical implications, the potential biases, the safeguards we need to put in place to ensure that this technology is used responsibly.
Because ultimately it's not about replacing human communication. It's about enhancing it.
Exactly.
Creating tools that help us understand each other better, learn more effectively, and express ourselves in new and creative ways.
Well said. And on that note, I guess we'll leave you with this final thought. As AI becomes more sophisticated in its use of language, what role do you want it to play in your life?
That's a great question.
The answer to that question, I think, will shape the future we create together.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.